The jet lurched to a sudden stop as the arresting gear yanked it back. Kate reduced the power to idle. When signaled clear of the wire, she raised the hook and expedited her taxi off the runway, just in time for her wingman to make his arrested landing behind her. As she taxied her jet to the ramp, Kate gave herself a fist pump. Yes! Early in her aviation career, Scarlett Mahoney often boasted she loved flying more than sex. Now in her early 40s, she'd gone so long without either that she couldn't vouch. She preferred actual control of an aircraft over flying a desk, no matter how important or career-enhancing the job. As for sex, Preston Davis remained eager to sponsor her re-entry. She'd not found the right occasion or mood in the 2 months since he'd surprised her by showing up on the pier from the U.S. with her teenager son when USS Shenandoah returned to Yokosuka, Japan after a 4-month deployment. Kate had found flying easier, safer, and less daunting to resume. Scarlett reveled in full control of the world's most sophisticated and deadly carrier-borne fighter attack jet. With this landing, she had completed her successful requalification as a full-up round U.S. Navy Hornet jockey. She still had to execute the same proficiency landing on an actual aircraft carrier at sea, but her military mind harbored no doubt that she would succeed. Earlier in the month, Kate had difficulty convincing Vice Admiral Darnell Lewis, USN, Commander U.S. 7th Fleet, to allow her to fly at all, much less perform carrier landings. "Why should I allow my chief of staff to risk her ass flying jets?" The twinkle in the Admiral's eye belied the sternness in his voice, so Kate rolled in at full throttle. "You never know when you'll need me to lead a sortie. When national security is at high risk, you want your best fighter attack pilot leading that mission, don't you, sir?" "You'll get enough sorties of another kind just keeping the staff and subordinate commanders in line, COS." Lewis had smiled when he said that. "Let the young fighter jocks take their turns at guts and glory." "I understand my primary job as Chief of Staff, sir. I also understand there's not another pilot in the air wing with my record in actual combat. You know what I did over Iraq. I should keep my skills current, just in case." When the Admiral scowled, she changed tack. "I will gain credibility. The staff and subordinate commanders will see me as a fellow warrior, not some privileged woman wearing the loop and manning the desk outside your office." In the end, Lewis had relented, and Kate had relished every moment in the Hornet cockpit. In all her life, nothing had satisfied her inner soul more than flying. Not even her son, or Colonel Preston Davis, United States Marine Corps, retired, Kate's would-be lover. Kate brought the Hornet to a stop on the ramp, shut down the engines, and completed the post-flight checklist. She pushed thoughts of Preston from her mind, climbed out of the aircraft, and headed to the squadron ready room for the debrief. She would spend the night on Iwo-to. Tomorrow she would fly a Hornet back to its home base at Naval Air Facility Atsugi, Japan, on the outskirts of the Tokyo-Yokohama megaplex. Because the Atsugi NAF was in a densely populated area, the Navy conducted its field carrier landing practice at the remote Iwo-to Japanese facility, both for noise abatement and to avoid the unpleasant, albeit minimal, risk of a jet crashing into the Japanese community surrounding the base. By seniority, Kate could have opted to fly home in the C-40 transport aircraft. The modified Boeing 737 had arrived that morning and would return to Atsugi the following day, filled with personnel and equipment as the air wing redeployed to its home base. Instead, she had cajoled the air wing commander to allow her to take the Hornet. Kate felt only a twinge of guilt about bumping one of the squadron junior pilots from that sortie. She'd made plenty of transit in the C-40. Scarlett Mahoney had paid her dues, and now reaped the benefit. Chapter 2. Troy. Where else in the world could a U.S. Navy lieutenant doctor fresh from family practice residency run his own low-volume, low-acuity